Hello and welcome to episode 27 of Ryan and Rob in Wrexham, where today we play against Aston Villa in the FA Cup and against Brighton in the league. Now, we've finally managed to win a Premier League game for the first time since the 23rd of January, as we beat Aston Villa 2-0 away from home with a 69th minute goal from Luke Hayward from a corner and a 92nd minute consolidatory goal. That's definitely not a word, is it? A 92nd minute second goal from Brett Powell, also from a corner. That was after a frustrating 1-1 draw with West Ham and a frustrating 0-0 draw with Spurs. And before that, 3 losses in the league in a row, admittedly against some tough teams. This is, it's not been the greatest run of form, and particularly when you compare it to this sort of November to January period, that was so good for us. It's been a shame to have that little dip in form. Thankfully, we seem to have recovered at least a little bit. And next up, we play Aston Villa again, straight after beating them 2-0. This time in the FA Cup quarter-final. I'm not quite sure whether I want to go through or not. Just because I don't want to have fixture congestion cause any further problems, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's head into the game. Well, a lot of players have dropped out just because they're not fully fit, and as a result we have Kuzmanovic at right back, Rebchuk, who we have actually had a couple of bids for on the left hand side, then Stanijevic and Simon Evans playing alongside Victor Hugo. Stanijevic actually playing as the defensive midfielder today, simply because we had no defensive midfielder who wasn't cup tied or was fully fit. Hansen Aaron and Alex Lorenzo on the wings with Colm Whelan up front. We've gone from it all being a complete disaster before the last game to we're on a good run, so let's continue that, shall we? Not really true at all. We're just about recovering, but still not particularly impressive. I suppose it is a few games unbeaten, but given only 2 of those have been wins and only 1 in the league, it's not been ideal. We are thankfully at home for this game. I'm hoping that we don't have to go to extra time or anything. That should be a red card. That looks like a terrible tackle from Herrera. It is a red card. That should help our cause immensely. I'm looking forward to the swapping of wings, because anytime the AI goes down to 10 men, there's usually some weird stuff that happens to the formation throughout the game. Kuzmanovic trying to go past his man, sends a good cross in, and Lorenzo's there to head home. See, this guy, he just scores too much for me to be convinced that he is a League One player. It helps, obviously, that he's quite tall and he is good as a header of the ball for a winger. So I suppose that helps with the sort of back post cross goal crosses, and getting those headers scored from those crosses. But yeah, he's just pretty good, to be honest. And then Stanijevic gets his first goal for the club. That's really disappointing for a player of his ability. He was meant to be our star man. He's not really been outstanding this season. He's obviously he's a good player, but he's not been incredible. And I was expecting him to really stand out, particularly amongst our midfielders. Perhaps Aston Villa will be the team that help reignite our form. Hopefully that is the case. Lawrence. Back to Pablo. He finds Thiago Henrique. Buendia. And he finds Hermes, but he looks to be offside. Whether he is or not, I don't know. Looks like they've given it. No, he's definitely onside, so poor decision from the referee initially. Let's hope that we don't let this slip, really, because we are playing against 10 men. We should definitely... Oh, what is that? Come on, guys, communicate. Lawrence. Crosses it in, and Hermes, his header hitting the bar. Interesting to see a few of Aston Villa's real-life players at the moment actually still there, even this long into the future. Suspect they will all be rather old. Hansen-Aaron not having his best game. Looks like the chance is continuing, which I'm not sure I like the look of this. Digne. Kuzmanovic steps in. Hansen-Aaron now on the right-hand side. He's not been great, but can he do something here? His cross drops over Whelan, and Evans puts it over. Disappointing finish from him. I think we'll get Garnacho on for Hansen-Aaron. Ooh, that's unlucky. Katanic's header just over the bar. Just need to hold on here. Get back into winning ways. And, the end of the season could go a little bit better for us than it has recently. Harrison finds Pablo. That's poor defending, but whacked clear by Bal very conclusively. Unfortunately, Whelan couldn't keep hold of it, and Katanic able to head it back to Savin. Quite a powerful header considering he was just trying to control it back to his goalkeeper. Victor Hugo looks long for Garnacho. Does find him. It's a really good pass, that. And Garnacho into Whelan. Headed out. Victor Hugo, though. Tries again. It's broken out to Stanijevic. Now Lorenzo. Kuzmanovic overlapping. Garnacho, and that'll be that. That was what we needed. Let's get Stanijevic off now. He's had a good game, but we should make sure that we don't get any injuries to important players. And much better last couple of performances against Aston Villa than we have had recently. And Victor Hugo, again, playing well. He started out really poorly for us, but he's starting to show what a good player he can be. And he does have 5-star potential. Admittedly, I'm not seeing a lot of increase in the star ratings for a lot of my players, which is a shame. But we've got a lot of players who do have potential, so I'm hoping that they do become Premier League standard, and possibly a good Premier League standard. Well, after that pretty positive result against Aston Villa in the FA Cup, we then beat Middlesbrough 3-1 in what could have been a frustrating game. We were 2-0 up. Leighton Clarkson then scored for Middlesbrough, and then I thought they'd equalise in the 95th minute, but they were offside, and we then scored in the 96th minute to confirm the win. But I was incredibly frustrated when I thought we'd conceded. We then drew 1-1 with Brighton, with Kvaratskhelia scoring for them. That was from Savin, Allsop, and I'm not sure which other player it was. It was probably Callum White. They just wouldn't clear it. They just kept passing it between themselves until eventually Savin just passed it straight to Brighton and they scored, which was very frustrating. But then Stanijevic equalised from a corner kick. He's really starting to get goals added into his game, which is promising. So we'll head straight into this game against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup semi-final and hopefully get through to another final at Wembley. You may call me crazy, but I'm going for a reasonably rotated 11 in this semi-final, as my main focus is on trying to get Champions League. I think it's probably a losing battle, but there's still a chance. United have lots of big games coming up, so hopefully they will continue to drop some points in the league. That means that Colm Whelan starts up front today. Simon Evans replaces Stanijevic in the starting lineup, with Rebchuk and Kuzmanovic on the two fullback positions. Hansen-Aaron starts on the right, with Garnacho moving to the left-hand side, as I don't want to overdo Dont's playing time. Now let's hope that those changes won't cost us against a team that we have beaten many times in this save, but still have the ability to beat us at any given time, particularly given it's an FA Cup semi-final and it's at a neutral venue. You can't really assume it's a done deal for either team. Claudinho with a shot that sails comfortably wide for us. Not going to stress out Savin too much, that shot. Kelly into Calvin Ramsey. Kana. Slightly surprised to see him at Crystal Palace at this stage of the save, given his ability in Football Manager. He may be someone we look to sign at some point, but I'll have to have a look at him a bit closer. How does he look? He doesn't actually look as good as he usually does. He looks decent, but he doesn't have as many sort of 15s or higher than he often does on Football Manager. Looks like Kuzmanovic has picked up some kind of issue, as well as João Victor. And Garnacho with the classic header. Again, from Hansen Aaron cross. It's happened quite a lot recently where Hansen Aaron's crossed it in and Garnacho's been at the far post. Perhaps Hansen Aaron might have to play a few more games towards the end of the season, because he's been pretty good recently. Not sure where it's come from, but he's done some good stuff. Garnacho does well to block the cross and then head it back to Savin. Really good play from him. Galbraith into Rebchuk. Katanic finds Garnacho in really good form today. Oh, it's a good cross into Whelan, and Whelan heads it wide. Perhaps should be getting that on target, to be honest. If he had, I think the goalkeeper would have been beaten, given the position that he was in and the power he got on the header. Not quite sure what Rebchuk's trying there. Looked like he was going for a long throw, but we didn't really have anyone anywhere near where he aimed it, so it was a bit of a silly decision from him, really. Good pressing from Colm Whelan, though. Crystal Palace looked to have escaped it, though. And João Victor tries to cross it in, but Katanic is there to clear out. It's coming back, though, and now Pedro Neto's in behind and shoots directly at Toby Savin. No real issue for him. Katanic looks long for Garnacho, does find him. Oh, it's unlucky. Rebchuk steps in. Hansen Aaron, oh my goodness, what a goal. You know, Hansen Aaron might have to play a few more games, because he recently has been really impressive. That's an absolutely sensational goal. Good ball from Galbraith. But Hansen Aaron, what a beautiful strike. Unbelievable goal. Maximovic into the Keita, and somehow, despite scoring in the 48th minute, we've not scored the last goal in the half of 48 minutes. Not ideal. Let's encourage the boys. Hopefully no silly errors in this second half. Headed back from Ramsey to Ward. Kana into Maximovic. Crystal Palace looking a little bit dangerous here. They may not be near our box, but they are playing some good stuff, looking very tidy on the ball. Pedrinho into Keita. And thankfully it's a weak shot from Keita and Savin's able to save. Kuzmanovic not having the finest game of his career on the right hand side there. A lot of our forward line are doing pretty well, but the defenders aren't, particularly the fullbacks, aren't doing very well. Garnacho rather tired, so we'll get him off for Dont. Not too much of a switch in terms of the quality of the player that we're bringing on there. And Galbraith now quite tired, so we'll get him off for Victor Hugo, I guess. It's not ideal. I think we'll get Kuzmanovic off as well, because he is not playing well at all. And hopefully Victor Hugo and Callum White can help us see out this game and get through to our second FA Cup final in 2 years. And I hope a better result in that final than last time. Oh, just wide from Rebchuk, that's unlucky. Good bit of play from him. Good understanding on the left-hand side there. And unfortunately couldn't quite nick it into the far corner. Keita, definitely looking the danger man for Crystal Palace so far in this game. Don't know why the game's gone very laggy. Oh, it's a poor pass. Victor Hugo in behind for Whelan. And he's hit it directly at the goalkeeper. That's not good from Whelan, and hopefully it won't cost us, but you never know. Victor Hugo. Definitely taking his time straight away after we did change the instructions. Goodness me, it's taking a long time there. Headed out, and nothing comes of the counter-attack for Crystal Palace. 3 minutes to go. And we are through to the FA Cup final. Well done, lads. Brilliant performance. And despite a stunning strike from Naby Keita, we did manage to get the win, and it was largely thanks to Hansen Aaron, who was very impressive today and has been pretty good recently. Certainly giving me some selection dilemmas. But yeah, well done, lads. We are through to the final. Who are we playing? Oh, we don't know yet, so let's simulate a couple of days and find out. And our opponents are Manchester City. What happened in that semi-final then? 3-1 after extra time. So we are going to be playing City at Wembley. Hopefully this time we can beat a Manchester team and ensure that we do win the FA Cup, which would be really good for our reputation. And if we can get Champions League, that would be another bonus. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a fantastic day.